to Property Expo, your number one show that showcases and profiles the major developments by Botswana Housing Corporation and how these very developments have contributed significantly to Botswana's economy. So, sit back and enjoy.
Established from a 1970 Act of Parliament, Botswana Housing Corporation started officially operating in February 1971 with a sole mandate to provide housing, office and other building needs for the Botswana government and other local authorities. Botswana Housing Corporation further has the mandate to provide assistance for persons wishing to seek residential or commercial property, as well as undertake, carry out and make arrangements for persons or companies to undertake and facilitate building schemes in Botswana.
With the newly built BHC Block 7 flats, we take a preview at the successes of the Botswana Housing Corporation and how this development has given a new definition to accommodation and property in Botswana.
It's been a challenge. Looking at that, accommodation in Gaborone is very scarce. So you take weeks and weeks looking through the advertiser to look for houses that are letting. And if you do get to find a house, you find that those houses are expensive because you're going to have to pay the security deposit and also pay the rent. And again, I think for every individual, you have your own style of what kind of a house you'd want to rent. And for me, it was a challenge because most of the houses that I found where I went, you'd find that the neighborhood was not really the nice neighborhood. So the security was threatened. So I had to take weeks and weeks to look for accommodation. But fortunately, I found a house with BHC. I must say I really benefited a lot because my needs, that's my accommodation needs, has been met. The house that I live in right now is very spacious. As there is security, I'm able to accommodate my friends and my family when they come over. So it feels more like a home. I have been a BHC tenant for almost a year now, and I've enjoyed my stay so far. I'm a business development manager, like I initially said, which means there's a lot of reading and research that I have to do in terms of my clients. Therefore, I have the lounge, the sitting room is where I am, and then there is the kitchen, and then there is a bedroom. It's a 2-bedroom flat, and then the other room, I have converted it into a study. That's where I get to work, do my work, and I think it's been very helpful because I don't need to be at the office all the time. I can even work from home. I must say, in terms of maintenance, I'm very satisfied. When I started moving into this flat, there were security people. BHC arranged for security, 24/7 security by G4. So there was no worry whether I go to work, whether my house is secure. And the other thing is that every day and every week we have people coming into the compound. They sweep the corridors and they also sweep the entire yard. So it's clean. And again, there hasn't been any faults that I had to call BHC and report and say, okay, I need maintenance here. So far, everything has been good. I never had to call maintenance and say there's a fault in the house. 2 months back, BHC gave me an opportunity to buy the house. They wrote me a letter, and as for everybody who is a BHC tenant, what happens is that when you've been renting the house for some time, and then BHC provide an opportunity for you to buy the house, and you are given first preference to anybody who just comes and say, okay, I want to buy the house, but they have not occupied a BHC house before. I must say property ownership is very key. And speaking as a young individual, I would say, we should look beyond just renting a house, but look at, buying and investing in terms of property, because you see, it's another thing for you to just pay the rent. But if you have bought the house and you have an investment, then that means that you can still be able to, in future, sell that house and also invest in other things.
Through the coming weeks, we will continue to showcase and profile the major accomplishments by the Botswana Housing Corporation and its continued commitment to property development in Botswana, and also how it continues to grow as one of the most prominent parastatals found in this nation.